The second social movement in this chapter is backward class movement. There were haves and have-nots, privileged and underprivileged, developed and backward communities in each and every society. During ancient time in India, there were oppressed and suppressed and exploited people. Oppressed means harshful and suppressed means defeated. As you all know that, based on Varna system, the society was divided into different stratas and named as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. When Manusmriti was implemented, so this Manusmriti is an ancient legal text. So when Manusmriti was implemented in 185 BCE by Pushyamitra Shunga, the first three categories, the first three in the sense Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishyas. So the first three categories enjoy the benefits of education, occupation and financial facilities to the core. And the last one, Shudras, were denied of these facilities. Further, Shudras are divided into touchables and untouchables. The farmers are today backward communities and later, so these farmers include the touchables and later in the sense untouchables are known as Dalits. So here let's know what is backward classes and backward communities. First of all, let's see what is backward classes. Backward classes are those communities who are economically, socially, educationally backward. So these exploited, suppressed and oppressed classes are called backward communities in which Dalits are not included. So here are the example of backward communities. Kuruba, Pesta, Nainda, Madiwala, Kumbara, Devadasi, Kammara, Tigala, Edika, etc. To gain equal status and privileges in the society, efforts are made by the leaders like Jyotiba Phule in 1838. He started Akshara Kranti for Shudra community or the lowest communities or Varna, especially for women, along with his wife Savitriba Phule. So Jyotiba Phule along with his wife Savitriba Phule in 1838 took an effort for the development of Shudra community by starting Akshara Kranti. Later, Jyotiba Phule demanded for school, hostel facilities for students of backward communities. Spread to other parts of the country. Narayana Guru of Kerala, Periyar Ramaswamy Naikar of Tamil Nadu, Sayyaji Rao Gaikwad, the Maharaja of Gwalior, Nalwadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar, the Maharaja of Mysore, Sahu Maharaj of Kolhapur fought for the upliftment of these classes. This movement influenced Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to include provisions. So here the important one. So these all movements led by the great leaders influenced Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to include the provisions in the Constitution of India for the upliftment or development of backward classes. So let's see what are the causes of backward communities. Number 1, social discrimination. These communities or the backward class communities face social discrimination like superior and inferior throughout the year. They were not allowed to come to the mainstream. Hence they started agitation to get facilities and their due share in post-independence period or after independence period. Number 2, economic exploitation. Exploitation leads to economic inequality among the backward classes. Many of these communities were BPL, that means below poverty line, and were poverty stricken. Poverty stricken means poverty seriously affected. To get these facilities, they united together and started agitation. Number 3, educational backwardness. Upper castes monopolized the field of education. So upper class includes Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. So upper class monopolized the field of education and denied the access to these communities means Shudras, include touchables and untouchables. As education is fundamental of self-development, so these communities rose means fight against the upper caste and organized an agitation. Number 4, denial of political representation. A few communities dominated political field and other backward classes were totally neglected. So during 1920, the agitation or the movement started in Mysore provinces by backward classes. Why? to get political participation to non-Brahmins led by Sri Kantaraji Us. Number 5. Unification. It is difficult to achieve anything without unity and integrity. Hence, backward classes who are more than 350 in numbers were unorganized. Unorganized means not represented, and they were scattered. To unite them and to fight for their cause, thus movement started. Political implications. The causes mentioned above. So the causes include social discrimination, economic exploitation, education backwardness, denial of political representation, unification. So the causes mentioned above pave the way, means gives the way for backward classes movement in India. Sayaji Rao Gaikwad of Gwalior was the first one to introduce the reservation to backward classes. So this is an important question. Nalwadi Krishnaraja Wadeyar, the Maharaja of Mysore, formed a commission headed by Leslie Miller in 1918 to go into the detail of backward classes. The next two persons, Nalwadi Krishnaraja Wadeyar and the Maharaja of Mysore. So these both formed the commission who headed by Leslie Miller in 1918. Why? To go into the details of backward classes and find solution. In addition to it, His Majesty, whose Majesty? Leslie Miller's Majesty, appointed Sri Kantaraja Us. Just now we studied in the fourth causes of backward communities, that is denial of political representation. So during 1920, the agitation started in Mysore province by backward classes to get political participation to non-Brahmins led by Sri Kantaraja Us. So here, in addition to it, that means other than this, His Majesty or power or authority of Leslie Miller. So this Leslie Miller appointed Sri Kantaraji Us, who belonged to the backward class, as a Diwan of Mysore. Diwan means Prime Minister of the state. So as a Diwan of Mysore Samsthan, who passed the recommendation of the commission and provided 50% reservation to backward classes. Sri Venkata popularly known as Tataya of Mysore, and Sri Kongadiyappa of Doddabalapur, has started education institution for the sake of backward communities. So let's see what are the provisions in Constitution. Constitutional provisions. Number 1. The Constitution of India provides reservation in public employment in favor of any backward classes under Article 16(4). Number 2. According to Article 340, the President of India is authorized to appoint National Backward Class Commission. Number 3. To provide loan and financial assistance to the people of other castes who are below poverty line. So, National Backward Class Finance and Development Corporation is formed. Number 4. All the states of Indian Union, so they can form State Backward Class Commission and Development Corporation. In Karnataka, Devaraja Us Development Corporation is functioning. Number 5. The National Human Rights Commission NHRC receives complaint against the violation of rights and discrimination against women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes. Other provisions. The Government of India appointed Backward Classes Commission headed by Kaka Kalelkar in 1953. Number 2. The Union Government appointed one more commission headed by Sri B.P. Mandal in 1979. So this commission submitted its report in 1980 and came into its effect on 7th August 1990. This commission identifies 3,743 castes and communities as backward, which formed 52% of the total population. Some of the recommendations of the commission are: A. The other backward classes or OBCs have to provide 27% reservation in employment. It encompasses the services that come under the jurisdiction of both central and state government, including technical and professional institutions. B. If OBCs are selected in open competition, They should not be brought under 27% reservation. Just now we learned in point A, the OBC class have to provide 27% reservation in employment. So in the point B, the OBCs are selected in open competition. So there is no discrimination like OBCs, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, etc. and so on. So here everyone can participate. So if the OBCs are selected in open competition, they should not be brought under 27% reservation and have to be treated as general. So they are not at all treated as OBC, they should be treated as general. This also applies to promotion. C. In case of backlog or incomplete work, it should be preserved for 3 years. So if the works of an OBC is pending, so these papers or files should be preserved for 3 years. D. The maximum age limit should be enhanced or increased for appointment like that of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Number 3. Dr. Naganagowda Committee in 1960, L.G. Havnur Committee in 1972, Venkataswamy Commission in 1989, Chinnappa Reddy Commission in 1999 have done commendable job in this direction.